Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz, September 14, 2015, 11:51 p.m. in Birmingham. Topic: we're not out of the woods, not even a little bit. I listened to Jonathan Kahn just minutes ago and some others, and I can go back about 8 blogs ago in fact, I did 2 blogs, and both of them I had mentioned that sometimes things can be delayed if there's enough prayer. And I believe, in all my heart, there was so much prayer going out of this country yesterday, last night, and out of Israel as well. I believe there's so many people praying that God, maybe he decided to answer. But all we have done was postponed it. Very, very temporary. And if you recall, they have it's a call to the UN to see if the UN is in agreement with the surrounding countries, France and US, considered surrounding countries, if there's enough to go to Israel and force them to give up half of Jerusalem. That takes place tomorrow on the 15th. And as far as the actual vote, I understand that it is 6 days away. And again, I mentioned in a blog yesterday or the day before that the number of men is 6. And so maybe that ties in somehow, some way. But let me mention something else, and if please think about this. And I'm kind of getting way off target, but at the same time, the point that I'm trying to make will hit home. I don't recall the number of people, 58, it seems like. Original of the group of people that came from France, England, that came here to start a new country was to flee the government that they were under. Out of that number that came, if I'm not mistaken, there were 44 Masons. 44 Masons. And if you had any of them at that time was a 33rd Mason, then he has to take a special oath that the others don't take. And I know only part of that oath. And I also know you don't have to be a 33rd Mason for that oath. You just have to be in position to I'm gonna say it in a nasty way. You have to be in position of great power and in order to kiss ass at the same time. Excuse my French. And this, I know, at least I think I know, that Obama is not a Mason, but yet he is in power, and he is doing exactly what the Illuminati tells him. But what changed our country? What did make it go in a different way back then? I think it was a very surprising prayer. Recall the little church that stood by the Twin Towers. Remember, New York City was the first capital of this country. This president prayed on ground zero. And he also prayed where that church sits. Very spot is also considered ground zero. 4 hours he spent on his knees. Did that change the destiny of this country on that day? I can't see worshiping Osiris and Apollo, which is the Masons, that's their God. And that's who each president, he is taken 3 doors down. Some people call it the Washington Room, or so-and-so 116 Washington Street, or something like that. And he takes another oath, and that oath has something to do with Osiris. And those things are withheld from people like me and you. My point is, this country chose a different route when George Washington and poured out his heart in prayer. And I think that's the reason we're still here today. But we are going to be gone soon. And when I say gone, I think we're going to enter into the final 7 years very soon. And I think the postponement that we had from today is either because of a great number of people praying in the last several days, especially last night, and I was one of them. I don't think I slept much at all last night, and I probably won't tonight either. I did postpone what I had lined up to do today and thinking the worst, and so I moved that until Wednesday. So what I had postponed, I moved forward to Tuesday, and I'm going to get on my Harley and I'm going to take a ride if I'm still able to. And that's going to be tomorrow. And it'll be a short ride. It'll be a couple 100-mile ride. But I enjoyed doing it. Me and my brother and his neighbor would just take off and ride. And I'm in Birmingham. Remember, we're in the foothills of Appalachian. So anywhere we ride around here, we're in a mountainous terrain. And it's just absolutely beautiful, especially when you drive from Birmingham going east toward Atlanta. You just hill after hill after hill, and it's fantastic. You get off any of the roads going east or west, north or south at that point, and you're in valleys, and you see beautiful valleys because we've had a tremendous amount of rain. But you know what? I've got way off subject. Let me get back on subject, back on target here. The postponement came for some reason. Maybe it was God that said, y'all planning on the wrong date, because if they vote, I can see a double whammy on the 15th to say, okay, we can do it. We can split Jerusalem, so we'll carry it to an official vote on a certain day. And then it may be on that certain day. It may be before. But I believe it was prayer that got us this far. But I don't believe prayer will get us much further, because we can go into a horrible time without the stock market crashing. Because remember, the Pope is coming here. And he's going to come, and I don't know why no one's talking about it, guys. No one is talking about why he's coming here except the 500th day. We're going to give everybody 500 days to bring global warming under control, or at least have a plan for it. And that is supposed to be the reason he's coming, but that is not the sole reason. He's coming for 2 other things. Keep in mind, he's also going out to the southwest. And what is out southwest that would bring him out there or carry him out there? Well, you have Mount Graham in Arizona. And on top of Arizona's Mount Graham, you happen to have an observatory. The most powerful telescope on this land belongs to the Pope, belongs to the Vatican. He has two of them. And the name of one of them is called Lucifer. Go back and listen to Tom Horn talk about his talk with the people that are running the Lucifer telescope at Mount Graham. They told Tom Horn, he asked him point blank, he said, well, what are you looking for specifically? And they said inbound. He said, inbound? He said, yeah, we're tracking inbound. What do you mean? I mean, you got a rock coming this way? He said, no, we're expecting visitors. And we expect them soon. Maybe this is the delay. I don't know. I do know it is a delay and nothing more. What we earned, we're going to get. And don't let another night go, even if it does not happen tomorrow or the next week. Man, don't let the sun go down again. Make sure that when it does happen, that you'll go in the other direction. Okay? Jody with Expoz.